Welcome from the Palms Casino Resort here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Top Rank Incorporated presents a special attraction in the featherweight division. We're scheduled 8 rounds of boxing. Our judges at ringside, Eric Cheek, David Hudson, and David Sutherland. With our third man to the ring, a referee in charge, Robert Hoyle. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with black and silver trim, joining us all the way from Beerwah, Queensland, Australia. He weighed in at 125 and 1/2 pounds with a record of 13 wins, 3 losses. He has 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight making his Las Vegas debut. Please welcome Deadly Dana Coolwell. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing trunks of the colors of the Mexican flag, white trunks, red and green trim, and fighting out of Moreno Valley, California. He weighed in at 124.8 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 12 wins, no losses, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the rising, undefeated featherweight known as boxing's pride of Moreno Valley, introducing Alberto Chop Chop Gonzalez. Once again, here's our referee in charge, Robert Hoyle.
Let's go, Chop. Okay, I gave you my instructions. These are the rules in the dressing room. All punches here and up will be good. All punches here and up will be good. Touch them up, scoot back.
Boxing saved both of these young men. Chop Chop from depression after his brother Daniel was killed at age 22. And this young man, you'll see his shoes have the Aboriginal decor because he's a member of the Munu Jali clan, and he overcame drug abuse, domestic violence, and here he is through boxing. Wow. He was a drug addict at age 12, Tim.
Holy crap.
And at age 14, he got into the gym, and here he is fighting in America for the first time in his 17th professional fight, Dana Coolwell.
What a story.
And he's just coming off taking Bruce Shushu Carrington, the #1 rated featherweight, the distance. He did go down twice in that fight, but he showed his courage. And so that's why for Chop Chop, look, there's no competition directly. But Tim, there's always competition.
Look, there's always competition. Of course, you want to do better than the other man. However, this is a huge step-up fight, I believe, for Chop Chop. You know, Coolwell, again, is continuing to take it on the best. You can tell he doesn't care. He wants to fight against the very best. That's the reason why he's here fighting against Chop Chop. Chop Chop's objective is to get on the inside and do what? Chop that body down of Coolwell. Coolwell, of course, he's going to want to stay on the outside, use his jab. You know, usually he's more aggressive, but you can tell that he's learned from the Shushu fight that, you know what, I got this height. I'm going to try to fight a little bit more off my back foot instead of coming forward and giving the shorter fighter an opportunity to land something over the top on me.
There's our director, Aladdin Freeman, giving you a perspective of what you're talking about, Tim.
Exactly. A lot of head movement. You're seeing a lot of foot feints and stuff coming from Chop Chop, trying to get into range, in the mid-range of that. He's going to look to try to time Coolwell as he's throwing forward in mid-range. Let's say with the jab, he's going to look to land something over the top, maybe even a left hook to the liver after. And for Coolwell, he has a really good right hand. You know, he hasn't let it go. All right, there it is right there. Finally, as I'm speaking about it, he has a really good right hand. That's the shot he's going to have to set up. Off his jab, the right hand. If he gets Chop Chop coming in a little bit too reckless, or if he can time him on his way in, he'll be able to catch him with that right hand.
There's a nice left hook there from Chop Chop just moments ago. He's very quick with his hands, defensively sound. Likes to stand in the pocket, make you miss and make you pay. A little foot feint there from Gonzalez. Part of the next generation of fighters we're seeing out of the RGBA Academy.
It's a really nice fill-out round by both fighters. You know, no one really landed anything really significant thus far. However, I like the pace of this fight. It's a fast-paced fight. And you can tell that each fighter is thinking.
10 seconds.
Bruce Carrington dropped Dana Coolwell twice when they fought, but he was tough enough to go the distance, and Chop Chop understands just how good both Dana and Shushu are. International broadcast tonight, so look, Shushu is the measuring stick for all the guys at 26 who are not champions right now. The #1 contender in multiple sanctioning bodies. The lowest ranking is #4, so that's why Chop Chop mentions that if he can outperform Shushu, it really will show where he's at. Although A plus B does not equal C in boxing, you still want to put your stamp on, this is what I was able to do against this guy. Nice body work there from Chop Chop.
That's when Chop Chop is most effective, is when he's at mid-range or inside, and he's letting those body shots fly, breaking down his opposition, and eventually catching them over the tops. Right there, he was able to break that distance relatively easy, just coming behind with the stab jab and then, you know, sliding his feet behind and getting into position and work. It's very important for Coolwell to keep his distance. He can't allow Chop Chop to get into his kitchen. You know, if he does that, then things don't get real bad for him. But if he can keep the fight outside and stay disciplined mentally, using that jab, and just keep it simple, he'll do well. He'll do well tonight.
Nice stab, nice stiff jab there from Chop Chop, stopping Coolwell in his tracks.
And I noticed another thing from Coolwell. He doesn't possess an uppercut. He hasn't thrown one just yet. I mean, if you're a taller fighter, and that's a weapon that you can use against the shorter opposition. You can set them up for the uppercut because you know they're going to dip low. They're going to try to get inside. And so that's a perfect opportunity to shoot an uppercut right up the middle and catch them as they're coming in. Very limited. Coolwell's very limited with his offense. You know, it's usually jab, jab, a couple of body shots here and there, and then right hand. Punch arsenal definitely needs to increase, get better. Needs to add to it.
That's a good jab from Chop Chop.
Nice 1-2 right down the middle from Coolwell, but he just sat there right there and just admired his work. I don't know why he didn't follow up. Another right hand over the top, catching Chop Chop.
Watch that shoulder.
A guy who doesn't throw a lot of punches, does it kind of lull you into a sense of security sometimes?
That don't throw a lot of punches?
Yeah. Like in the case where
nice
Coolwell caught him again with the right hand, because they're few and far between, but he's landing them.
Look, you got to figure out, if you want an outside right, like being Chop Chop, you got to figure out.
Nice combination from Chop.
That sure was a great combination right there. He just got in position and let his hands go. Coolwell right there was just laxed on his defense. Good counter inside as well. Both guys are having their moments in this round. You know, but the one that's pressing forward and making the fight and is appealing to the judges, I would say, is Chop Chop at this moment.
10 seconds.
But you got to find safe ways to get in a position where you want to get to. You don't want to get hit on the way in. You want to avoid getting hit and get in position in mid-range and lay your offense.
The co-main event before we get to heavyweight action between Richard Torrez, putting his undefeated record on the line. The U.S. Olympic silver medalist will be facing Guido Vianello, the Italian Olympian. Nice right hand there from Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez in the white trunks trimmed in red and green. The Aussie Dana Coolwell in the red trunks trimmed in black and white. Or silver. Nice triple jab there from Dana Coolwell.
Yeah, Coolwell's still hot right now. You know, got a lot of energy. You can see got a little spunk to him. Dropping that lead hand now, inviting that right hand. You look like he's gonna be looking to shoulder roll it and come back with a right hand. Good combination right there from him as well. But, you know, the tempo's gonna have to increase little by little. Nice shot right there from, way to start that combination, downstairs and then coming up top. That's the way you do it.
But look at the answer from Coolwell.
Absolutely.
A nice overhand right. That's been Chop Chop's issue in this fight. Nice left hook there from Chop Chop on the chin. A quick combination from the fighter out of Southern California.
Love that. Love that from Chop Chop. You know, of course, you don't want your fighter to get hit with shots. However, you also want him to come back even though he is getting hit with shots. I can't stand seeing guys get hit and don't return any type of fire.
Now Coolwell going downstairs.
Coolwell he likes to go downstairs, but you can tell he don't bend his knees in the inside at all. He stands real tall. He's available for looping shots over the top, uppercuts as well, standing straight up. There it is, nice shots.
Got that
good
high
angle
guard.
change. And good angle change right there from Chop Chop. That was something different. Nice. Just shuffling around to a different angle.
Was that liver shot?
Yeah, the body work is definitely relentless from Chop Chop. And it's going there's a looping shot. That's what I was talking about, people. It's awesome.
And it's just the patience and the poise he's working with here against a difficult Donna Coolwell. You could see why he went the distance with Shushu Carrington. He knows what he's doing in that ring in terms of surviving and making himself harder to hit.
Yeah, but see, what Chop Chop doing is he just keeps coming forward, putting that pressure on him. He's forcing Coolwell to use those legs. He's trying to tire him out. That's another way. You don't have to necessarily throw a punch, right? But you can just press and take that space away from him. Make him use those dang legs and let those legs tire out.
But Coolwell caught him with a nice body shot in the right hand just moments ago. So Gonzalez needs to keep pressuring, but he's also got to do it behind a jab or flurries like this. Look at Coolwell saying, you want to come in this range, you're going to have to eat some punches. But then the straight shots are really working for Chop Chop.
10 seconds.
You can't miss. You can't miss. That head don't move off the line. Look at when you go into that high guard like that, man, you become a sitting duck. Great combinations right there from Chop Chop in that last round.
Round 4 of a scheduled 8-round fight, undefeated. Albert Gonzalez, 12-0 with 7 knockouts. Donna Coolwell, 13-3 with 8 knockouts. All his losses have been against undefeated opponents. Shushu Carrington, 13-0. Ender Luce, 16-0. And Jake Wiley, 4-0. The last one took place on the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson card in November of 2024 against Shushu. Nice right hand from Chop Chop as he dipped left and swung the right over the guard.
You could tell the corner told Chop Chop to use those feints. He came out, he was feinting heavy. He's kind of gotten away from it right now. Feints is a great way, okay, to break up your rhythm, right? And also, it allows you to see what your opposition is at least attempting or trying to do, because you force them to shoot shots where they don't want to shoot shots, right? But you got to be set and ready to react once they do throw with the right combination or punch to counter them, baby.
And then when you have a fighter in that high guard, you make them react, right, Tim?
Absolutely. You make them react and you adjust to their positioning. Good jab,
Double
right? See,
jab from Coolwell.
Hey, Coolwell, again, he's keeping it simple, but you know, moments like this is when you step in and you're smothering your tie up. You don't.
Nice right uppercut there from Coolwell.
And he did a little side step and uppercut. What? Look at him. Getting a little stanky with that boy. Yeah, you probably put some seasoning on that, man.
The southpaw stance?
That Lawry's. Yeah, and Chop Chop got to change his rhythm up, and he's just coming straight through the front door, and then he sits in there with that high guard, and then he takes, shots on the gloves. Again, it's what it looks like to the judges. You're not doing anything. If you're going inactive with that high guard, it doesn't look good. Coolwell right now is having a good round right now. Just boxing outside, using his legs, changing his position, and just running Chop Chop into shots. Don't matter if it's partially blocked or not, man. Look, the judges they saying, hey, you're not doing much, son.
Chop Chop's a guy who likes to exchange, and even in the gym when he's doing well, not getting touched up, he's like, goes back to the corner, they're like, great work, and he's like, yeah, but it looked fun, because Coolwell landed a nice one too there.
Sure did. And he's starting to gain more and more confidence. Coolwell feel like he belongs right now. You know, this is all the experience gained from, I'm telling you, it's gained from the Shushu fight, right? Yep. You know, he's felt that pressure, felt that resilience, right, of another fighter, the level of Shushu. So Chop Chop's gonna have his hands full tonight, man.
Look, this was the best round for Donna Coolwell. Took 4 rounds to get into the fight, but
in store for him, the game plan, and he's able to make adjustments along the way. He can win this fight tonight. He has punching power. You know, he has more experience, I believe, than Delgado. I think he has more experience. He's fought better opposition, in my opinion. He's already suffered a loss. Delgado hasn't. So, I mean, look, take that experience, come out here, be confident in your ability, be confident in your training, and put your best foot forward, man.
And both guys talked about how the level of opposition they were facing was hard for them to get up. This is a fight that both are up for, because they understand that You know, what's at stake and what they have in front of them. Talent.
Man, look, I don't want to hear guys talking about, I have a hard time getting up for this guy. Man, come on, dude. If a dude got 2 hands, bro, and he getting in the ring with you, that's all enough to get up for a fight, right? And if he don't belong in the ring with you, then you get him up out of there.
Dana Coolwell doing what he did against Bruce Shushu Carrington, and he's tough to hit, and he can take a shot.
This is a really good test for Chop Chop. Really good test. It's because not every opponent is going to stand in front of you and let you hit him, you know. And you're starting to see how well Chop Chop can deal with distance, guys that understand distance, right? I'm not saying that Coolwell is a like superior boxer, but I'm just saying he's using lateral movement, he's stopping and popping with combinations, he's using his jab and distance, and he's not allowing Chop Chop to get to where he likes to be, and that's inside and mid-range.
Look at, he's using his legs so well. He's using every inch of this ring to his advantage, but this is where he doesn't want to be against Chop Chop, because he'll try to chop you downstairs.
And when you're fighting a guy like Chop Chop, you just can't just move all night. You got to stand and fight. And I like these little spots that Coolwell is picking, right? Getting in and getting out of range, staying close, throwing some combinations, tying up like that. Very tactical work you're seeing from Coolwell. That's what I like. And then you see a little frustration. I don't want to say little frustration, but I'm just saying it's a bit difficult right now. I know just by the way the Chop Chop is looking. He don't like what's going on. He don't like having to chase this man down and track him down. This fight's a little bit more difficult than he thought it was going to be.
Yeah, good learning experience also.
It is. Absolutely. But see, the thing that he's failing to do right now, in my opinion, he got to stay consistent on the body.
Yeah.
You make that your priority. Just keep digging downstairs to that body.
10 seconds.
Coolwell making Chop Chop fight his fight.
Sure is. It's a really good round for Coolwell.
On himself. Did you hear those body shots he was throwing early in the fight? You could hear them all the way up here, where I am on the desk. He's gotten away from that, and I think he's making, instead he's punching up, he's making it difficult on himself.
Yeah, Tim, you mentioned that he's gotten away from going downstairs to the body, and that's allowed Coolwell to use his energy to move around the ring.
And he's gotten away from his jab too, man. You know, he's not really using his jab well at all in space. You know, you don't always have to, you know, stick your jab, you know, use a power jab, you know, or stick a jab out there. I mean, you can flick it out. You can use pros. You know, you got to distract. You got to create some sort of deception to be able to get to where you want to get to on the inside. There's a lot of things he can do. Moving his head side to side. He's keeping his head just going up into that high guard right there. You become, again, a sit and duck for combinations. Guys are going to punch through it. They're going to punch around it, so on and so forth. Look at that right hand. Look at that right hand.
I mean, you can't get caught by a lead right, but here's Chop Chop with the answer. And there's the flurry, and there's the power of Chop Chop. Looking to chop down Dana Coolwell.
Consistency, that's what it takes. And I like the fact that Chop Chop didn't bag up. He continues to come forward, You got to stay on your man. Yep, keep something in his face. Keep touching. Don't let him escape.
From Robert Garcia.
See, right now, touch. You got to now get back in his chest. Keep going forward. That's how you got to do it. That's how you break down your opposition and take advantage of moments where they're very vulnerable.
And that's the body work once again. Once he started going downstairs, Tim, it set up those shots to the head on Coolwell.
And then Coolwell, of course, is going to fight back and he's going to try to deter you, but you can't let that deter you. If you got to walk through something, walk through it, but you got to get right back. See, now Chop Chop got to get back in his grill and start letting more leathers. See, Coolwell now trying to come back, bagging him off. Yeah, but stay consistent. Coolwell still is in dangerous territory right now.
Nice body work from Coolwell, the uppercut.
Good angle change, but no work after. Great angle change by Chop.
Now they're exchanging body blows. Left hook there from Coolwell.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm having a hard time watching because I'm just saying I ain't no way I'm gonna let Coolwell come in there and where I like to be in my kitchen and work me like that.
Well, Coolwell's saying, I know where you like to work, but I'm gonna take the fight to you because that's how confident I am in what I'm capable of doing.
But that's called experience, right? That's me. I've been there, done that. That's called
nice
experience.
1-2 there from Coolwell.
Stop. I got you.
That's called experience. So, in moments like that, Chop Chop could have went on ahead and took a walk if he wanted to, or even tied his man up to stop his momentum. That's all tactical work. Beautiful uppercut on the side. Ooh, yeah. This is good work, man. It's a good fight by both.
Let's give me a little in and out movement. I mean, really good instructions from Stephen Pitt. Great work in the corner.
Great direction right there from the cornerman. But he told them to go out and stay long, right? But what happens? He's inside the pocket.
Well, because Chop Chop said, I'm going to welcome you with 3 shots, and you have to decide if you're going to answer back or if you're going to go move away. Nice flurries here from Chop Chop. Body work there with a left hook from Chop Chop.
Good defense right there on the inside from Chop Chop. Finding small little pockets, making just inches, making Coolwell miss. Right now, Coolwell down, going on the bike, trying to get up out of there.
He says, I like the distance thing a little bit better than Stephen Pitt was talking about.
But it's so interesting, man, the tactical shifts that Coolwell was doing. Like, he met him in the middle. He fought him well on the inside. Then he gets back on the outside, right? And he's trying to walk him into shots. Just extremely smart, man. Very adaptable in there.
And, hey, Tim, we better put some respect on Shushu Carrington's name because
I'm trying to tell you.
Coolwell went the distance with him for a reason, even though he got dropped twice by the #1 contender.
Absolutely. All right, when does it start to become running? They start moving around like Sugar Ray Leonard. He moving a little bit too much. That's nice right there. Good jab. Nice walking from Coolwell. And again, tactically, he's just smart. He came in, he smothered him, just got close. Chop Chop couldn't do anything.
Nice quick combination from Coolwell. A jab from Chop Chop.
Chop Chop's not consistent enough, man. He's having a hard time, fighting against this moving target. That's just it.
Ooh, that was a good counter from Coolwell. Made him miss, and then turned and hit him with the right.
Right, shot inside, yep.
Chop Chop.
But this is where he got to live. He has to live here, right? Some nice small angle changes, good uppercuts.
Body work though from Coolwell, and then he lands a left hook.
I see the tape. I see it.
Tape is loose. Referee sees it. On the left glove of Coolwell. Nice right hand from Coolwell.
Big shot around the guard on Chop Chop. Chop Chop, he didn't like that. He wants some get back.
Yeah, but he's got to take another one from Coolwell if he gets a little over his skis.
Ooh, nice. Two-1 combination.
Things are going to heat up in round 8.
And then no longer be hungry. Right? Have you ever happened to you where you eat a little something, you like take a little nibble, and then you're not, yeah, I'm good. I don't need any more. That happens to me when I'm cooking all the time. Like if I cook a dish and I take a little sample of it, and then I'm like, it's time to eat. No, I'm not hungry anymore, huh?
So who's not hungry here? Chop?
Yeah, Chop. I'm like, where is it? Where the hunger at?
Nice body shot there from
Give me
Chop.
the finish. Nice body shot. Another setup shot right there with the right hand from Chop.
But that would have been the key if he had been consistent with it.
I think it's more so like these dead spots right here, inconsistent, right? And this is going to favor Coolwell because he has a longer reach. He's outside. He knows how to somewhat maintain his reach a lot better than Chop Chop.
It's a 9-inch reach advantage. 73 to 64 in favor of Coolwell.
See, that's gonna favor Coolwell. As long as they outside like that, Coolwell gonna have success. Chop Chop sitting right in front.
Nice right uppercut from Chop Chop. But you see just the speed and how Coolwell is keeping him off balance with the 1-2.
See, that was nice right there. Chop Chop just following him out, right? Knew that he wasn't in a good position and let his hands go, and he was able to land. You got to recognize moments like that inside the ring.
And Tim, like when Chop Chop landed that right, the way that Coolwell leaned straight back, if he keeps going at him, he could hurt him. Like there, just keep coming with the right.
Yep.
Nice body work there.
Oh, there's a perfect opportunity. Coolwell just turned that corner real quick.
And you like how Coolwell's using the shoulder to create that space.
He was bumping him off to create that space to get distance, but I like the way Chop Chop right there just finished right there with that swivel jab. This is the consistency that I was looking for from Chop Chop right here. Not getting too close.
That's that left hook.
Throwing the right shots at the right time. Beautiful work right here from him at the moment.
Long right hand from Coolwell, but if Chop Chop can have the fight in this range, that's where he has the advantage. He's chopping down at the body of Coolwell, and that sets up the overhand left to the head.
The shot that Chop Chop is missing is the right hand. That's what he's missing, a looping right hand over the top. You know, that was a straight right hand attempted, but that looping right hand, oh, just missed it.
But Tim, it's part of the fact that Coolwell's got a 9-inch reach advantage, and he's not getting that overhand right over the jab.
But Guido has a 9-inch reach advantage, but he also knows how to shorten his shots up even with that reach advantage.
Nice right hand there from Gonzalez. This fight is going to end up going the distance, and a great test.
We go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, David Hudson scores the action 77-75. Eric Cheek sees it 78-74. David Sutherland scores the bout 80-72. All three in favor of the winner. And still undefeated, boxing's fighting pride of Moreno Valley, Alberto Chop Chop Gonzalez.
Make it 13 wins for Chop Chop and family, but Tim, that 80-72 was just too wide for what should have been a competitive fight.
Look, I'm not a professional judge. I'm not. You know, these guys are trained professionals. However, I don't think it was that wide. You know, I thought Chop Chop might have won the fight, no doubt about it. But, man,